Alright, what's up YouTubers? It's the J-Rex here. I do not have a lot of time. I'm probably going to be late making this video. I'm gonna be late for work, but it's fine. This is a very important topic. I need to talk about this right now before this topic is forgotten. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible, and I'm gonna talk louder so people can hear me more clearly. Capitalism does not work. Capitalism does not work. And the sooner that we can admit this, the faster we can move on to better things. There is so much potential in America and the rest of the world, and we are being held back by this outdated system. And we got a bunch of stubborn old people at the top that are holding back the future because they're trying to hold on to an outdated system that does not work anymore. Alright, so, but people want to be like, oh, look at capitalism. Capitalism is great. We have, I don't even know, capitalist stuff. Expensive cars, expensive clothes, expensive purses, you know, top of the line luxury hotels. Oh yeah, see, look, capitalism is great. Like, you know, people always want to point out the good things, but they don't want to point out the bad things. Capitalism is overall not working. Look at the average American citizen. The average American citizen is broke, struggling paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay the bills, struggling to survive, and you got homeless people living on the streets. There are homeless people everywhere. It's ridiculous. You got a homeless person on every corner of every street, you know, begging for money. It's just, capitalism just does not work. Look at all the suffering that's going on. You got people sleeping in their cars because they cannot afford a freaking house. You got some people that they don't have enough money to buy food, so they have to go to those, what do you call them? Those, you know, like those homeless shelters or something where they give away like canned food. Capitalism just does not work in America. It's really not working, and just people just want to like, just point out all the good things but not all the bad things going on. What about the people working 2 or 3 jobs and they're just so stressed out and they just like end up committing suicide or killing themselves or something because they're just depressed, not happy, and just stressed out to the max. Just capitalism just does not work, but there's probably still people that are like, it does work, but so we'll just give some more examples here. So people want to always point out like, oh, look at like countries like West Germany and East Germany, or like the what was it? Like one of the Germanys was like capitalist and one of them was communist, and the one that was capitalist was doing so much better than the communist version of like East-West Germany. People always want to point out that, but they don't want to point out like all the other like times where capitalism failed. And we'll look at oh, what about Russia? Russia's a prime example. Russia was communist, and you know, Russia is a crap country. Oh, look at North Korea. North Korea is a crap country and North Korea is communist. But the thing is though, people, there's like, they need to realize Russia was actually winning the space race. Like, Russia was a communist country, but Russia was able to launch like the first like satellite into space. So technically Russia kind of beat America in the space race, and Russia was the first one to put a satellite into space. They were the first one to put something out into space. So, you know, they're like, oh, America was the first one to put a man on the moon. Russia was the first one to put just anything on the moon, anything into space. So technically Russia kind of won a little bit. And supposedly they were communists. Is it because they're communist? Aren't they like supposed to be like way behind America since they're communist? And then North Korea, yeah, North Korea is communist, but there is an economy, somewhat of an economy going on in North Korea. There's like a black market economy going on in North Korea. North Koreans are practicing capitalism to an extent. They are selling stuff and buying stuff, and there's a black market going on in North Korea. So you can argue that North Korea might be a little bit capitalist. So, but what about all the other capitalist countries that are failing horribly? Like everybody wants to point out the failures of communism. What about the failures of capitalism? Look at, like, Mexico is a prime example. Look at Mexico. Mexico is a crap country. I'm sorry if there's any Mexicans watching this. I mean, but like, Mexico is we got to be honest here. Mexico is a crap country. Mexico kind of sucks, okay? There's tremendous amounts of poverty in Mexico. You got people literally living in like holes in the dirt. They're digging holes in the dirt ground, and they're like living underground. They're so freaking broke. They're like literally like digging holes in the dirt and living in those holes. Like, Mexico is bad. It's not good. You got the rampant, there's so much corruption in Mexico. People are so like poor in Mexico. They're broke and they're poor and they don't have any money and they're struggling to survive and they're living in dirt holes, and they're all coming over here to America because Mexico sucks so much. And Mexico is primarily a capitalist country. It's primarily a capitalist country. They rated like 72, 73, 74 on the capitalist scale. Like, you can look it up on Google. But yeah, Mexico's primarily capitalist. And you got the cartel over there. You know, you got gangs. You got just so much rampant drugs in Mexico, and people's heads getting chopped off by the cartel. It's really bad in Mexico, and Mexico is a capitalist country. There's so many other capitalist countries. What about all the people in South America? What about, you know, like in South, like Brazil, or what about in Africa? You know, you got people buying and selling fruits and buying and selling, you know, meat. You know, you have a market in Africa. Like, you can look at all these examples that are capitalist, and they're crap. There's a lot of countries that failed, that are failing, that are capitalist. Prime example, Mexico. There's probably more. Like I said, probably a bunch in South America and Africa that are failing. And oh, so why is America so successful? Why has America been so successful? Like, America has done so many great things. America created the refrigerator. America created cell phones. America created computers. America created video games. America created flying. America created the internet. America created the freaking internet. Like, America has created so many amazing things. America is just done so many great things. Number one in innovations, created some of the greatest innovations in the entire world. Jacques Fresco created the Venus Project. Jacques Fresco's American. There's so many great innovations. And you could arguably say that somebody can live a good life in America if they're given the opportunity to do so. They can live a good life here. So what is making America so amazing? What makes America so great in these areas? How is America just number one in like innovation and technology and like culture? Like, what's America doing? And is it capitalism? It cannot be at capitalism, because look at Mexico. Mexico is capitalism and Mexico sucks. So, is it the guns? People want to say, oh, it's because of guns. America is so great because of guns. All right, that's what makes America so great. Our Second Amendment rights. Is it really the guns? Because you look at countries like Yemen. People over there have a crap ton of guns, and Yemen, those people are broke. Those are some broke people in Yemen. What about Afghanistan? They got a crap ton of guns over there in Afghanistan. They're not doing very good too. You know, people walking into buildings with bombs strapped to their chest and blowing up buildings and killing innocent people. So it cannot be the guns and the bombs, because just look at Afghanistan, just blowing everybody up over there. What about Iraq? Iraq, they have a crap ton of guns. Iraq, you could say, is a shit show. So I don't think it's the guns either, because, you know, you got countries in the Middle East, they got a crap ton of guns over there. And what are they doing with those guns? They're just shooting each other and blowing everything up. So that's water. I'm drinking water from a wine glass, but it's like the only glass cup that's there right now. Okay. Is it education? Could it be education? Is that the reason why America is so great? You could argue that it's education. It might be education, but then again, we got South Korea as an example. South Korea, they treat education like it's just like a life or death kind of situation. Like they just like blow education out the butt like there's no tomorrow. They study their butts off like there is no end in sight. They study like it's the last day on earth. They study like 10, 12, 14 hours every day. They go overboard with the education, and they are education as education is. And but the people there are freaking miserable. They drink every day. They drink themselves silly every day because they're so freaking miserable. And they smoke every freaking day. Like, they smoke every day as if, you know, like, their life depends on it. They smoke and drink every freaking day. It's ridiculous over there because they are so stressed out and they are so miserable over there. You got so many people in South Korea killing themselves. Like, they are so depressed and miserable over there, and they are committing suicide and killing themselves. Like, they're like putting charcoal on a frying pan and freaking killing themselves over in their kitchen, freaking grilling charcoal on the frying pan. Like, isn't South Korea's #1 in suicide, right? Like, it is so bad in South Korea. So it's like, is it education? Don't know, because look at South Korea. They go overboard with the education, and they are just killing themselves left and right, cooking charcoal in the kitchen. So yeah, I don't know if it's education. So there is something else, which is the reason why America is doing good. There's something else. It's not capitalism. It's not education. It's not the guns. There's something else. And oh, people are like, well, what about freedom? Well, you could argue that it's freedom, but like there's other countries that are more free than America, and they're not doing so great either. They have not been able to stack up to America in terms of like just the revolutions America has created. One could argue China is more free than America. They have a more free market system than America. Some people can argue that, but look at China. China sucks too. You got Chinese people like running each other over with their freaking artillery tanks and shit. You got people running each other over in fucking China. You got people living in freaking bird cages in China. And what somebody could argue that China is more free than America. They have a more free market system. So what makes America so great? Who knows? But we can definitely say that it's not any of the other things that we talked about. But the bottom line is, capitalism is not the reason why America is so great, and we really need to let that go, and we need to figure out how to fix this problem. We need to figure out how to fix this problem of this growing amount of like poverty and suffering and homelessness in America, and we need to fix it. And capitalism is holding America back, and we need to let it go. Capitalism does not work anymore. Look at all the people suffering, stressed out, barely surviving, paycheck to paycheck, don't have enough money for food, for rent, to survive, for gas. Capitalism is not working. We gotta let it go, and we need to figure out how to fix this broken system. We need to figure out how to fix this broken system. And as of right now, it could be possible that the reason why America is so successful and so great is because America has access to resources. That could be the reason why America is doing so great. America has access to the latest state-of-the-art technology. America has access to... We have access to a lot of food. We have so much food. Like, we have more than enough food. You don't have to really worry about starving to death in America. Now, it's hard. People don't have the money to buy the ridiculous amounts of food that America is producing, but there is more than enough food to go out to all of the Americans in America. It's just people don't have the money to get the food. But we're making more than enough food. It's just like people just cannot get the food because they don't have the money to get the food. So we just throw away all the food instead while you got families struggling to afford groceries. It's so freaking stupid. This system does not work anymore. Like, Jesus Christ. And but it could be access to resources. We have access to state-of-the-art technology. We have so much food over here. And, you know, we have mountains, we have like so much farmland, abundant farmland, so many mountains, so we have resources, we have oil, we have like gold and silver, like we have like so many like vegetables, like so much corn over here, and so much farmland, and you know, and we have the oceans. We're surrounded by like 2 oceans. We have access to like so many like resources. We have just like desert, tropical. We have access to swamps, grass, prairies. We have the snow up there, and then lakes and oceans. We have rivers. We have access to so many different things, and it could be because of access to resources. That's why America is doing so great. America is doing great, but it's not because of capitalism. There's something else making America great, and we need to figure that out. We got to let go of capitalism, and we got to move on to bigger and better things, because capitalism is really holding back America from truly revolutionizing. We got to let that crap go. All right, thank you for everybody for watching. Have a good one. Peace.